This conference will now be recorded.
Midnight, Monday night. Thank goodness. Then the fun begins.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock and this town council workshop will come to order. The first thing on our business is the town administrator presentation. So
Thank you, sir. And appreciate the opportunity. As promised when I first got here, okay, thank you. As promised when I first got here, I said I would take it my first couple of months and working at the town just to talk with citizens, with staff, with committees, with the council, and do my best to find out what people think about the government, what we do and how we do it. And so that's what this is about. This is a result of all those discussions. It has not, just so you all know, it hasn't been edited, it hasn't been debated, it hasn't been changed in any word, in any way. If it was said, it was, you'll hear it. And because the goal is not to convince anyone that said anything that they were wrong. The goal is to see what people think of the government, the way it works. And so I've tried real hard to make sure that happens. And based on that, I've created this presentation. It's going to start off by reminding us who we are as a government. And then from there, it's going to identify goals that all of you have told me you would like to see happen over the next couple of years. And then after that, there's a kind of a hybrid SWOT analysis that identifies strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats for those goals that were identified that came from the citizens that I spoke to. And then after that, we're going to take a little break. I want to give the council a little bit of time to just think about all the information they've received. And then what I would like to do is conduct a goal setting exercise where y'all identify some goals that you would like to see coming up over the next 5 years, we'll say. And then based on that, staff will take that information and we'll come up with an implementation schedule of how we will do it and bring it back to you in the form of a resolution. And then what that does, that helps us with the comp plan, it helps us with our budgets, and it also creates matrices so you guys can see, every 3 to 6 months we'll talk about goals, and you can see what we're doing with those goals. So you will know, and our citizens will know that we're going in the right direction. I think that's real important. And the final thing that I would like to do today is hopefully come up with a vision statement for the town. Our citizens made that pretty clear. They would like to see something like that. And we have our slogan, "We're the family beach," and that doesn't change. But having a vision and all that helps when we start dealing with comprehensive plans, economic development plans, and things like that. And so that's what we're going to try to do today. So we're going to start off with who we are. And I'm going to get up. I was told if I get up and stand in the middle and I turn all this around, everyone will hear. And if you don't hear me, please tell me. Or you just don't want to look at me, and then I'll just sit right back down. It can be a little bit of both. I understand that. And first of all, who are we? Who is the town of Southside Beach? We are a council administrative form of government. So what does that mean? We have a mayor and we have 6 council folks. Now, what do? They adopt a budget, they set tax rates, they approve new and or update policies. They determine goals and objectives, and they hire and fire department heads and the town administrator. We don't want you to do the town administrator. And then you hire me as the town administrator. So what do? I manage the day-to-day operations of the council. And this is personnel, this is budget, this is resources. I provide objective information and I make recommendations to the council. And that's actually harder than it seems. And the reason I say that is, as the administrator, I don't play politics. And so I have to be very careful that the information I give to our council is as objective as possible, because we don't want to give the appearance of playing politics, but they need good information to make good decisions to look at the youth. I administer the affairs of the town. I implement policies of the town council. We have 9 committees and commissions. We have approximately 75 full-time people. We have 20 part-time, and we have 10 beach services. And that varies a little bit based on the time of the year it is, and, what's going on in the economy also. We are located in Horry County, South Carolina. We have an estimated population of 4,525 folks. We have 2,150 households. Our total area is 1.96 square miles. And if anyone wants this presentation, shoot me, I'm going to, we have, and out of that, the land is 1.94 square miles. So that's who we are. Our current general fund is $6,851,620. And then of course you see the other fund, 2 more sections. And you see the other funds. This is what was approved by the council at the last budget. Before I jump into goals, I forgot to tell you, bathrooms are in there. We do have coffee and pastry. If you want a cup of coffee, go ahead and just make sure you all know that. So what I basically did when I was speaking to the citizens, staff, some of y'all, I said, 5 years, what would you like to see happen in the town of Southside Beach? And so some of the things that we were told were full beneficial retail occupancy of Highway 17. We don't want just stores. We want stores that turn into destinations. We want stores that will bring our visitors in and they can come and get them to come back. And we want stores that are residents in those the balance set. Lose the bad reputation. We were told contractors don't want to come and work in this town. We also know about some of the contractors, because we had a meeting with them, that if some of them come in, they actually raise the prices. And those are not good things. And so they talked about maybe we need to market the town better, maybe hire a public information officer to help us do that. That's the things we need to look at. Town employees need to know the answers to questions that come from either the residents or our visitors, businesses, and know where to get them if they don't know them. And kept hearing that a lot over the planning department, because that was one of the things I heard a lot. However, I've got to say, I was also told over the last 4 or 5 months, people have seen an improvement in the planning department way of doing business. But I didn't ask the time with us. I just, what do you want to see? Staffing consistency. I will move over here. Can you all hear me? It's good. Residents be able to use property as they want to, i.e. maintenance. They weren't talking about coming in and building another floor on the house. They weren't coming in and talking about knocking down trees, but the things, the little things. You really need to get a permit to cut a branch out of the screen window. That was the one that stuck with me. Should be able to do the maintenance and things like that on your property. And again, it's finding that right balance. Goals, the pier. Everybody wants the pier to be completed on schedule and on budget, and if possible under budget. Pier residents should not have to pay to go on the pier. That's one of the things that was brought up to. Only pay if you're going to fish on the pier. However, they also said the pier should be self-sufficient and pay for itself. We'll have gift shops there, we'll have restaurants there, we'll have vendors there. So there needs to be a way to make that happen. And Surfside Drive needs to be cleaned up. Other goals, roads. They talked about parking. It is an issue right now. They talked about drainage, which, stormwater and stuff like that we're working on. So that's a good thing. It was nice to say, hey, we are working on some of these things. Underground wiring, those are the things that were brought up with that. We need a plan for the future of the town. They talked about goals, they talked about vision, they talked about mission statements. Our citizens would like to know where we are going in the future, and that's very important to them. Growth, they want it, controlled growth. They understand growth is a good thing, but they don't want anybody to forget that we are the family beach. It's not about growth and making lots of money, it's about growth and making money, but making the family beach more important. And so that's how the citizens want it up. Parking. Parking is a problem. It's probably on every beach town in the state. That's an issue. But citizens say we need a parking plan that addresses the future. We want to be ready for it. You know, if we bring in the great retail and become a destination, if the fair helps to be a destination, the beach, we need to be ready for that parking before we need it, if that makes sense. We need a parking plan that will support the growth. Community, citizens, staff, and elected officials should work together. And this, obviously, I'm throwing it in, this is what we're doing. I mean, your council, this is what they wanted to happen, and this is one of my first directions. So they understand how important this is, what the citizens are asking for. We need a slogan. Now, we do. And again, like I said, I wasn't going to say, oh, we have a slogan down the beach, because I just wanted to hear what the people said. And we do have a slogan, but we undoubtedly haven't marketed as well as we should, because we got asked for that. Fix, update town facilities, which we are working on, and I will have a happy plea within the next week or so. I'm just getting some final numbers. A lot of that came, I gotta be honest, a lot of that came from staff. Better communication, Facebook, webpage, phone, PIO, being friendly. When we talk about Facebook and webpage, we're not just saying let's have one that's easy to use, that makes sense, that when citizens get on it, it's not hard to find what they need to know. And staff should be nice to citizens. I've heard that just about every meeting I've gone to, and that's just the truth. I mean, you know, I'm not here to take shots at anyone, but that's what we say. And then update our ordinances, and that was mostly with planning and zoning and making us more business friendly. So with saying that, let's do that. With saying that, then what I do with the folks, I said, let's do this. Like I said, it's a hybrid SWOT analysis. That's all it is. You know, tell me what you think is a strength to help us reach some of these goals. And so the first thing that came, I shouldn't say first thing at the top of my list. Basically, all I did was put it down in the order that I got it. So there's no priority. The first one doesn't mean it's the most important one. Of course, Kenny might disagree with that. But in saying that, this isn't a priority. This is what people told me. First strength being, we have a well-trained and friendly police force. And I've seen examples of that, because people don't like getting arrested, that's what. We have our own police and fire department. We have a clean community. When you drive into Southside from either side, North South, when you hit Southside, you know it. Yeah. And I think that was really, really well. One of the things, we have a tap on our building now. Our location is a strength. We're close to, we're big areas, we're doing big things, but we stay in the family beach and we take a break. Control growth, knowing that we're gonna grow, but making sure it's done right is a strength. Our beach is a strength. Our roads are a strength, and they are. Roads are a lot less than it, and it's pretty when you drive to the housing area, it's really nice. Retail and restaurants are a strength. Weaknesses, government communication, external and internal. Folks complain they didn't know or don't know what's going on. Retail, we do have retail out there. It's a strength, but could it be better? Could it be something that makes people come? One of the things that our council do is we have this facade grant that we will pay up to $5,000 to Matthew if you want to clean up the front of your building if you've got a business. Hasn't been used a lot, but there's things that are doing, but there are things that can be done better, and we know that. Our reputation, kind of a hard place to do business. Our image, we're not the friendliest people in the world. No real plan for the future. Our ordinances need to be updated. Staff knowledge and condition of facilities and staff attitude. So those are some weaknesses. Those are things that need to be worked on. That's the truth. But what opportunities do we have? Well, number one, business 17 vacancies. We have the vacancies. If we fix that area right, we clean up some of the things that we're doing, and we treat it right, guess what? That's an opportunity. We can turn it into a destination, a location. That is a strength. It could be a weakness, but it is also an opportunity. If we control our growth, we can bring the types of folks that we want as a community into our community. And it will benefit them because they'll have a great time, and it will benefit us because they'll bring it, it works either way. Our beach is an opportunity. It's a beautiful beach, well looked after. You go down there in the morning and you see public works guys out there cleaning it up. You go and you see our beach folks picking up trash, and that's not their job, but they do it anyway. So there's a lot of good things going on. Our pier is in the process of being built, and real pleased with it. It's going to be an opportunity. We're going to have a restaurant on that. We've got 3 other buildings that are 100 feet of pier that we can put vendors on. We've got to make sure we put the right things on there that will bring the right people that will benefit the community. The E-District is an opportunity. We have to make sure it's managed correctly. We have to make sure that what's on it benefits the town, but it can be an opportunity. Our upcoming comprehensive plan is an opportunity. I say that because we get to identify in that plan goals and objectives and where we want to go. So this, what we're doing right now can actually help with that, which is a good thing. But that comprehensive plan, when completed, should be a roadmap for the future for it. And it goes out, it's done for 10 years, 5 years, you turn around and you reevaluate it, and so it's an opportunity. Business and economic development opportunity. Market in the town is an opportunity. Low crime is an opportunity. If you check out crime statistics for the areas around us, we're there. So that's a good thing. And then grants, the facade grants for the buildings and the retail is an opportunity. Rents. Isn't it amazing how location can be a strength? It can be a weakness. It's an opportunity and social threat. But it's the truth. It is. And we're close to Myrtle Beach. They have crime. And sometimes crime goes and crime in other areas, and sometimes they come up. So we have to watch that. Future crime. What we put in this community in reference to the here, the economic, the E-District, 17, that can bring stuff. And so we got think family beaches and doing this stuff. And we need to set our zoning in place so that what we want is all you can have it. And there's a balance that you can do it. Forget we are the family beach. Start thinking more about money and not about who we are. And I agree, we've got to have money to run it, but there's a balance. Putting the wrong things on the pier. That could hurt us. No communication, which we're working on. COVID, that's because it's unknown. I mean, the beginning of this year has been great. We've had people visiting, as John and Dad, Public Works Director, told me, 3 weeks ago, I think he made the announcement, normally at that time of the year, we pick up 15 tons of garbage on the weekend, and we're up to 20 already, so we're picking up more than we have during the good, so that's a good thing. Our ordinances, planning, zoning, they need to be citizen friendly, they need to be updated, we need to make sure that all our ordinances, match today. You know, if we've done 20 years ago, we haven't updated it, we need to look at it. Just the way it is. And the final one that we had in stress would be staff attitude. I mean, if we don't treat people nice when they come in the front door, you know, why would I be in my business there when people up there, people down there, people not? And that's just the truth, and that's something we have to work on. And so that is basically what I got from talking to our citizens and committees and such. So from here, basically, what I want to do is I'm going to give you all about 5-10 minutes, have a cup of coffee, and think about this information, because from here, I want to jump into a process where we start identifying some goals for the town over the next 5 years. And you'll get to do that. And so, is that okay, Mr. Mayor? We take 5 minutes?
Absolutely.
But I just want you to think about the information.
So let's take a 5-minute recess.
Yeah. Y'all can have a cup of coffee? Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, this workshop will come to order again. My microphone's not working.
There you go. Now, the goal now is to, what I would like to do is identify goals that, from the council that will be used for the next 5 years. And this is based on the fact of them being on the council for a while and learning stuff, them talking to the citizens and the different committees. So it's a combination of a lot of resources that the council is going to be using. And then once we identify, we run out of goals, then we'll go into prioritizing. What that, I did not touch it. You saw that, that was me. Oh,
With Michael.
I don't know how he did it, but he was good. And then we'll prioritize them, and then after that, once they're prioritized, we'll create, meaning staff, we will create a implementation schedule, event plan for these goals, with the understanding any outside ones other than the first 5, once we finish one, we'll pull the next one up. And then we'll bring it back to the council as a program and get them to approve it in the resolution that this is the program we're going. And the reason I want to do it that way is number one, it really helps with the comprehensive plan. It saves time, it saves money, and it gets us going in the right direction. And the other thing is upcoming budgets should all reflect on the goals that the council has set up. And because those goals come from you. And so that's why it works that way, and it's done again. So I'm going to start with Michael, because he's the first one.
First one.
There you go. Okay. One goal that you would like to see happen over the next 5 years.
Number one, I would say overall, when anybody has any interaction with anybody, they treat them with kindness, friendliness, and listen to what they're saying. If you don't have the answer, don't say no. Say, well, let me check on that, and then follow back up and call them.
Got it. Great customer service.
Great customer service. I think we need a way of following that too. There was some type of internal, somebody bias or a company on the outside that can call these people up when they do give a permit and ask them questions.
Yeah. And it's funny you would say that, because I have already asked Sherry the other day. I want her to get with whoever we have to get with and create a online survey form, and that we're going to put on our website, webpage, that will identify the type of things we're providing. So we're already working on it. So
the service department and dealerships, every one of them got a CSI, customer service index, and that's very important.
David, what would you like to see happen? One thing in the next 5 years. We're just gonna keep going up and down until we run out of go.
Just taking the common ordinances, simplifying the ordinances and enforcing the ordinances. I mean, I think that's a critical point. We have a lot of issues there.
And we're talking every department.
Yeah, we need to pick the ordinances that are the most commonly, used.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, what would you like to see in the next 5 years?
I would like to see the town get a public information officer. Somebody who can actually field the complaints and field the calls and, work with you for a resolution to them. But, somebody that will actually listen and take care of it. Plus somebody that can keep our Facebook page updated and our newsletter updated and everything. Not write it, but the ones that coordinate it and everything. And be the liaison between the news and the police and everybody else that's going on, that they can sort of an ombudsman type of relationship.
Ms. Cindy, what would you like to see? One thing in the next 5 years.
I would like to see a comprehensive yet flexible marketing plan, promotion plan, strategic plan, whatever you want to call it, some vision for the town that we can, so everybody's marching to the same band and we're going all in the same direction, yet flexible enough that, as times change, it changes with it.
Paul, in the next 5 years, what would you like to see?
I would like to see the development of 17, which our most important business corridor we have, that we incentivize and develop that.
Got it. Miss Debbie, come on down. What would you like to see happen in the next 5 years?
Probably the same thing Michael said, but I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that. I think it's so important that our residents understand each council person up here and that it's not divided. Council is not divided. I'm going to have ideas. I'm going to see things one way. Another council person's going to see it another way. That doesn't mean I don't respect them. A lot of times when you listen to another council person, they bring things to light that you had not thought of. But to see all this Facebook negativity, I have had people come to this town 2 years ago when I was down at one of the beach accesses. And a resident said, this person was saying, my husband and I were thinking about buying property here. But after we saw your town website, and it seems like everybody's at war, we don't want to be a part of that. And I said, what website are you going to? And it was Facebook, one of the pages that someone had created, and council members were making negative remarks about it. Residents were coming back. That really puts this town in a bad light. And I know we're not going to always agree, but we've got to think that everybody has the best interest of this town and move forward and move on to the next thing. So I think the community and council coming together to better this town and the communications in it.
I'm going to go off topic for a second. I've been here a few months. My observation of our council, and it's the truth, I don't hide, is you'll want the same thing. You just don't agree on how to get there all the time, which is one of the good things about having a council, because you can all come up with different ways of doing it. So I think, it is strictly meant as a compliment, but I've seen a lot of other councils where they didn't agree where they need to be tomorrow, and that's really difficult. So, Michael, is there another thing that's not already mentioned that you would like to see happen in the next 5 years?
I'd like to see something for the residents in this somehow with we have an aging community. We have a lot of people that need different aspects, some type of council on aging something that we could come up with some type of, I don't know, some type of thing that we could make up somehow, the park or a indoor pool or something that would be for residents only. And it would be for the residents. You know, if you have a indoor pool area somewhere built and it's built for the community, not for tourism, it's built for the community and the people that live here. And at least they get something out of their taxes they're paying. They think, oh, well, I got this. Yeah, I got a good police department. I got a fire department. I got a senior citizen council on aging facility to go to.
Got it.
Stuff like that.
Just clarify, when Michael said Asian, he did not mean anybody in this room. Gotcha, buddy.
Yeah, I'm the young one here, so you know, now David's a young one.
Why don't you hand that one that sheet to me? Is David, is there something else that's not on this sheet that you would like to see happen in the next 5 years? I'm just gonna hand you something.
No, I think we hit that high points. That's plenty. I do agree with Ms. Keating, though. We've never had a good marketing plan, so that's certainly a good goal.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, is there something else that you would like to see happen in the next 5 years?
I can't think of anything right now, but I think that the 8 of them that we have up there is a pretty good start.
Cindy, is there anything you would like to see happen that we haven't already mentioned?
I would like to see us improve our event schedules and the type of events we do. Add some flexibility and do different things every year and do something at least every month. Make it a year-round destination for visitors.
Got it. Paul, is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you would like to see?
I like that.
Well, parking was something that was talked about, and as we get to be more visitors, it's gonna be come a problem when the beer's done. So parking's gotta be something we looked at over the next 5 years.
I agree. Debbie, is there something that we haven't mentioned that you would like to see happen? And I
Yeah.
hope I'm not being disrespectful by your name. It's just I'm reading them, it makes sense to it.
Community working together. I met with a chairperson this week and we discussed a few things and I think they're probably going to move forward with a few of those. I see the community divided and I would like to see people to come together and work as one.
Michael, is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you'd like to see in the next 5 years?
That's pretty good. I do like what Cindy said about the involving something here every month. And there needs to be some type of festival, some type of something going on every month. You could have, especially from November, December, January, February. Very well needed.
David, is there anything else that you would like to see over the next 5 years?
No, sir.
I think that it's like what Cindy said, the events. I think that the residents like getting together. Some of the things that we're doing in the community garden, they like getting together and doing that. Our Memorial Day and 4th of July parades, golf cart parades have been a great success. So I think that we ought to promote stuff like that and let the residents get together, because the more the residents get together, the more we're going to be able to eliminate some of the conflicts between everybody.
Is there anything else that we haven't mentioned that you'd like to see in the next 5 years?
I would like to see us address and update the roles of our various committees and get more information out as to what they're doing. Better communication about when they're meeting, what they're meeting about, what's the results of their meeting, and really looking at their charters. Most of these committees have been in place for, decades. We all know times have changed. I think there's better roles that can be associated with some of the committees, and just revamping that and updating it and making more information available to our residents to promote their interest in participating in some of the committees as well.
Paul, is there anything else that you would like to see on this list?
Well, I think it's going to be included when we do it, but the webpage has to be a major thing that we consider in developing our plans.
Okay, Kodak communication, what page 5 communication? Ms. Debbie, is there anything else that you would like to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. You're done, you're done, you're done, you're done. You're done. So anything else on this you'd like to see now?
I have a goal for just the next 18 months,
Okay.
and that is to get a clear and concise financial accounting of the pier and get that public and communicated clearly and frequently.
Got it.
Yep.
Now, for phase 2 of this process, what I need from our council to do, because this is your goal, is I want, without talking to each other, I want you to take a look at these, I think there's like 15 goals that you come up with, and I want you to take your top 5 goals and prioritize it for me. Your number 1 goal, give it 5 points. Your number 2 goal, give it 4 points, all the way down to 1 point. And then I'm gonna use that to identify the top 5 prioritized ones, so yes. And so if you will take a couple of minutes and if you wanna get up, and if you can't see him because yes, ma'am. Oh. I'm sorry.
The machine will shut off automatically if you don't. We did get a message through the GoToMeeting, somebody that called in, and it says more family activities for young families.
That's kind of what you said. Yeah.
Are you thinking ideas for the audience?
Well,
Not yet.
this would be up to you guys if.
Don't bother me.
Hmm?
Don't bother me. I'm fine.
You all
I
right?
welcome them.
Okay, don't take your 5 yet then, because if you want to take some, they might bring up something we haven't done yet. So give us a second, okay? Okay, well. I don't know how to. Yeah, yeah, we gotta hear you.
Yeah, get close to the microphone.
Yeah. Just one idea, but it can't be already done because we've already got it, so. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, my name's Charles Henyon, wife of Judy, 611 North. And I just want to say a few words about the website. And this is only my opinion. I have done web development before. I used to teach web development. And this is only my opinion, folks here, but the website here just isn't that good. If you want an idea of what a good website is, just look at some of the websites that some of the other towns on the coast have.
Yep.
To see what really pops. And looking at the website here, again, this is only my opinion. It looks nice. It's okay. Does it excite me? Personally, not really. But you look at these other websites, that's a destination. And there's no reason why the website cannot be the focal point of everything that's happening there. And what Cindy said, what other people said about events, that should be updated, the website, on a constant basis. And it's all about communication. If someone responds to you right away, okay, like a company, you feel good about the company, right? That's someone you might want to deal with. There's no reason why we can't do that. But try to have someone respond, maybe as a full-time job, and simply do that. But someone responds to that, that gives you warm, fuzzy feelings that this town cares, and you want to go there. And for those that don't have access to the web, which I understand, why not have just a I know we have a newsletter, but make it more comprehensive, actually listing the events, calendars, what's happening in the next 2 months, because we know what's happening. Why can't we share with people? And things like that, it's all about marketing. Perception is reality. And your initial impact of contact with Surfside, that's your reality. And when people want to go to a destination, what do? They go into Google, they type in a name, see what's there. We can do the same thing. And that's just my thought.
Thank
Do
you.
we have anybody else that has a suggestion?
Judy Henyon, I would like to see us in the next 5 years develop a grant writing department that helps us to fund the activities that we're standing here talking about. Because there are grants that would promote community activity and would allow us to do a lot of the things that we talk about and we think we might like to do, but we say we don't have the funds to do. There's no reason that we should have to pay for having someone to come and operate events in the park. They should want to come here and we should be running that, but we should be able to fund it with grant money. I mean, there are businesses, if we could take our 501c3 and solicit from businesses and corporations funds to come and fund events department, and we could have a community committee that comes together and comes up with events for this town to do. We could have an ongoing arts and cultural project that stays with the town, that leaves something behind. That we could have full-time artists coming in and creating sculptures and creating things on the beach and around town that would increase our visibility and bring people in. And then it would provide activities as well. But I think key to that is let's get some grants and get a grant writing committee going. Thank you.
Anybody else have any suggestions about the next 5 years?
Chris Stanger, I'm Cedar Drive. I'd like to see it a little bit more business friendly. Try to get some more businesses in here to help pay for some of these things. These businesses is what helps us all out. It ain't just helping little people, it's helping the whole town out getting these businesses. But I think we ought to be a little bit more business friendly, trying to get our business in some of these buildings that's empty out here, not just leaving them empty. I think that would help them pay a thing.
Anybody else have any suggestions? Going on?
Come on.
Going twice? So, again, if y'all would include these, identify the top 5 goals that you would like to see happen in the next 5 years. And then, number 1, give it a 5, number 5, give it a 1. So you're gonna
Say it again. Say that again.
If you got the one that's most important, give it 5 points.
Oh, okay.
The one
Okay.
second most important, give it 4 points, all the way down to 1 point.
Well, some of these are almost subsets of some,
Agreed.
I mean, they're not actually task goals, but, you know, like under marketing, we can do a lot of the, you know, the grant writing that Judy mentioned, the events, the communications. I mean, that all kind of
Yeah, and then what we
fits
will,
together.
yeah, and if that's in there, then what we will do is we'll put together some type of program to make it happen, and what we're gonna do with it the next 5 years. And that way you will see, so, you know, you're right, if it's the website, we need to talk about all the different things we're gonna do with it. You know, if it's $1 million overhaul, well, maybe we only do 200,000 a year for the next 5 years. And I just pulled that number out because I could divide by it. But, just, I mean, you'll get something like that. I mean, you're done? Okay. Now, what I am gonna do is collect those so we can identify, the top 5. with the understanding is that, if it ain't good with all of you together, come up with 8 that you like the most. Those 3 won't go away. As we get one of the top 5 done, we'll move that one up into it. So we're not gonna just stop doing those because we've used them. And what I will do is I will put these together and see if we can identify the top 5. And while I'm doing that, because my math is not the best in the world, might take a couple of minutes. What I would like you all to do is, this is a draft. I just started to put together using the buzzwords for a vision/mission statement for the town of Southside Beach. So I would like, if you all would take a look at that and talk it amongst yourselves, see if you can convert that or create something completely different into what you think the vision statement or the vision of the town of Southside Beach should be. And that's gonna mean you're talking that I can't really move these chairs. but, yeah. And if you wanna ask your citizens to help create that vision, that would not be a bad thing. While I'm putting these numbers together, because we need a vision. We need something that when we do documentation and when we have our council meetings, then we need something to show people where we are.
We're citizens, we're not residents. I mean, we're citizens of the US, we're residents of Surfside.
Whatever. Well, I think the focus needs to be more on, if we're going with the concept of the family beach, then your vision needs to say something about, being the destination, being the vacation and home for families of all ages. And I mean, we have to get that concept in there, that, we want to be the destination for all families on, on the coast of South Carolina or something. I mean, there's got to be some.
She is taking notes as you put this out so we can.
To include the family beach.
Yeah, we have to say something about how we want to be the best of something. Usually your vision statement is talking about, you are striving to be the best at something. And so if we really want to maintain the family beach, we need to talk about, we want to be the destination for families, or, something about that. And then everything we do under the vision statement is where you get into your individual missions of the police department, of public works, of administration, of finance, et cetera. They have their missions that fulfill that vision. So your vision statement is a much higher level. We want to be the best of something. And then each of your departments or each of your segments then has their mission of what service they provide that achieves that vision. Yes, ma'am.
Just give you guys some advice on when you're doing these kind of statements. It would probably be best just to start with words that mean things to you guys and just start going from there.
Right.
What's a good word that represents us, right? You said South Carolina. There's nowhere in there that says Surfside Beach, South Carolina, right? So there's a Surfside Beach, Texas too, right?
Right.
So you just want to throw the words out there to get you started, and then they'll start.
Yep. Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
I would say residents. Residents.
Well, I
What
wouldn't limit it to residents. I mean, we have visitors, we have businesses,
Right.
we have property owners. I call it stakeholders. Where all stakeholders can thrive, whatever.
Surfside Beach family welcomes your family.
I like that. And I like the statement, something to do with a community that works together to make this the family beach.
there should probably be something in there that says values, sort of family values, or, you know, what our values are.
That would be good. Say what?
Okay, don't look at me.
I think family needs to be in the,
Details.
somehow in the statement too. Family. Family, yeah. We gotta write family values. That's good. Family.
Could be.
Yeah. How would you work crime free? I try to make crime, you know, because we do have a very low
Safety.
safe.
You don't talk about.
I know, safety, but people worry about that when they go on vacation. They don't want to go somewhere where they're, yeah, tell them it's safe. I know, but I mean, the numbers, if they look, are very low, very low.
If you talk about safety, you're giving the positive.
Oh, yeah, positive. Yeah, I agree.
Details of being a mission.
Hmm?
More details in mission, what service.
Yeah.
Services.
That would be the
Sure.
mission statement for the police department.
Services, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think in the mission statement where it says the town of Surfside Beach provides a quality of life, I think it should be the town of Surfside Beach promotes a quality of life. Because we can't give them the quality of life, but we can promote it.
That's a good point.
Assuming that's a good quality of life and not a poor quality.
Whatever they make.
I think it has to include, you know, that the town of Surfside Beach becomes the destination for South Carolina that provides or that promotes the quality of life by, you know, and then put in some of your other buzzwords by demonstrating, you know, by showing the family values and, you know, those kind of things. I mean, our goal, our vision needs to be to bring as many people as possible to Surfside Beach with their dollars.
But they need to be the quality visitors.
I mean, that's our goal,
But they need
right?
to
We
be-
want as much money as possible to
but-
run the government, right?
But the same thing, you gotta target people you really want to come here. If you target the wrong crowd, you're gonna wish you'd never done.
No, we want to be the #1 family destination in South Carolina.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
That's exactly
And
what it
high-
has to say.
And high quality all around.
Yeah, that's your vision statement. And then from there, you develop missions as to how you're gonna get there.
For on the East Coast.
They're a little 1 point now.
In 5 years, we'll make it the East Coast.
What about memory? I see a lot of things that people say, I mean, 30 years ago, and I bring their children back because they want to recreate those wonderful memories they had.
Yeah, that's good.
That's our tagline on the webpage, been creating family memories for 40 years or 60 years or
Yeah.
whatever it is. That's a tagline on the top of the webpage.
That's good.
Maybe we should include, which we kind of talked about, is year round. But we want to become more year round, not just summer, but year round.
I agree with Paul on that, make it a destination year round because it is a, That is something we really lack here.
Yeah, we don't have events
No,
in the wintertime.
no.
We got to change.
It's like, okay, it's all over, close up and go home, but it's not. It needs to be, our weather here is
We have great weather.
great weather.
Well, but don't confuse the details of how everything flows either down or up, depending on your perspective, from a vision to your mission, to your goals and objectives, to your tasks. I mean, it all funnels together. So, you know, as we get into the details of year-round, improving events, promoting safety, you know, those all are supporting that upper goal. And, you know, like David just concisely said, town of Surfside Beach wants to be the #1 family destination in South Carolina, period. End of vision. From there, you then look at, you know, planning, building and zoning. They have their own mission statement that says, you know, they have to do their brainstorming. Okay, what do we do that promotes becoming that #1 destination? What does the police department do that promotes that #1 destination? So you don't want your vision statement to be so complicated.
Right.
And so detailed. You just want that top statement that says, this is what we want to be. This is what we want to be when we grow up.
But whatever we set it at, we need to make sure we're doing.
Well, and that's what all the other goals that we talk about
Right.
should then be funneling up. You know, that's sort of, we started here, we jumped up to here.
Yeah.
So we need to fill in the middle and fill in the bottom of that hierarchy of activities.
I think we're partway there.
Yeah.
We have the cleanest beach, we have the lowest
Prime.
crime.
Yeah.
So we're halfway there. We just have to have something to fill up that beach.
Well, yeah. We want to fill it up again with people that are coming here, they're renting a beach house for $5,000 or $4,000, $3,000 a week, and then they're gonna spend money.
Right.
It's got to be Michael's.
That's mine, I can't have, right? The pool, the thing for the pool and stuff.
But see, now, I agree with your statement you said earlier. Make it short. It better be short, not too long. I've done these many times, but the #1, Surfside Beach, the #1 destination in South Carolina, something like that, is really a good statement.
You say the first, yeah, the family, #1 family destination, South Carolina.
Like Cindy said, the test for a vision is that the goals that we're talking about all feed into that
Right, right.
success.
And just so you know, based on your vision, I'm gonna have every one of us come up with a mission to get into that.
Right.
I think that's really important that we're all on the same team.
Yep.
And then each one of those 5 goals falls under each of those missions somehow.
Yes.
Still scoring them out. So do we want to narrow down our mission statement based on what we said there? Do we want to change it and come up with a?
Well, I think we just rewrote it.
I just think we rewrote them.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, all that was just some pretty words. I mean, yours is the important thing.
I think we had it there.
Yeah.
Number one family destination.
Yes.
The town of Surfside Beach to become the #1 family destination in South Carolina.
That's
We
good.
did put the family beach.
That's good because that includes visitors, residents, businesses.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yes, then put it at the bottom, the family beach.
I said in 5 years, then we'll make it the East Coast. 5 years after that, we'll make it the world.
Oh, there you go. And we got an international airport. See?
Town of Surfside Beach to be,
South
will
Carolina.
become, no, will become the #1 family
Your vision.
destination in South Carolina.
And below, put the family beach. That's what our theme's always.
Do you want it to be, will be, for real about 5 years or 10 years? Or do you want it to be the town of Surfside Beach?
Is
Yes.
Is the number one family beach there.
Is.
Better claim it.
That's right, you gotta claim it, that's right. Town of Surfside Beach is the #1 family destination in South Carolina, the family beach. Yeah. Two around the family beach.
So she just did.
Okay, all right, good. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You're quicker than I can get it out of my mouth, okay?
Imagine that.
Imagine that. You know, it's council on aging people, you know?
And you think a swimming pool's gonna help?
I got a pool. I got a pool. I just think we got a great community. We can come together and like people mention grants. So a lot of that can be grant done. You know, so why not do something for the residents? Yeah, water road, man. I need that. You know?
Thanks for the visual, Michael.
Come on, Sandy. I want to see that
Sherry,
speedo on
will you
YouTube.
read it sometimes if someone says it?
The town of Surfside Beach is the #1 family destination in South Carolina, the family beach.
I like
Read
that.
it again, sorry.
Read it
I had
again.
my back to it. The town of Surfside Beach is the #1 family destination in South Carolina, the family beach. I don't know. I don't know that you covered South Beach. Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
stop
what
it
I thought
after
too.
South Carolina. Yeah, the family beach is just a tagline that we can use in various marketing communications.
But that's
It's not
short.
adding to the vision. Bill's doing a ciphering.
What if you put the family and business destination? Could be.
No, don't start
Everyone,
getting
yeah,
into it.
everyone.
Because then when we get into the
Meat and potatoes.
licensing
Yeah.
mission,
Yeah.
their mission is to bring
Business.
family-friendly businesses
Right,
to Surfside.
Okay, read it now, Sherry, if you don't mind, since we
Okay.
changed.
The town of Surfside Beach is the #1 family destination in South Carolina.
I like that.
You're gonna start walking that pretty quickly.
You know, didn't we have, before I came, didn't we have pamphlets about Surfside Beach
Yes.
that had like the, map in it, and
Yeah,
businesses, and
Mhm.
I stole them, but they were here before I got here.
It was a welcome pack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we need that.
So to get 5 items, do we have 30 on the list?
we must.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 on the list. And what I done, I took a liberty, I hope you don't mind, but I think really two sets of goals. Like, some of the goals were internal that staff should be doing, and it should happen. I mean, it's the right thing to happen, and some of them are external. So basically what I will do, I'll give the external first, top 5, external goals, then I'll give you the internal. And then what the goal is, so everybody will know, is staff will take these and we will come up with a schedule of events implementation plan
Thank
to
you.
make them happen. And then we will bring it back to the council and and as long as they're okay with it, we will turn it into a resolution, say, this is what we're gonna be doing, this is what the council wants. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, pretty quickly, we've got a new vision statement that we need to get to paper and everybody else, but not only that, we need to set up some citizen meetings. So everybody knows this is the goal set by the council and the vision is, and our citizens, because y'all know a part of it. And so, the next step is to get that to them, but also publicize it to all our citizens. Because it's important that you all know that we really do, I mean, we really do care. So the external goals, number 1, a marketing plan. Number 2, ordinance simplification. Number 3, am I going too fast?
Number 2 is
the
ordinances.
Making it easier that it's use. Number 3 would be the web page update. And number 4, what is it? She's got a bad foot, but she's right. You have no idea how much trouble I've been put out. My wife tells me to be nice to her. She is, there's no doubt.
Okay.
Okay, number 4 is Highway 17 development. And then number 5 would be the events. And anything that was said by the council that we don't do because of the bottom and the point, doesn't mean we're not working on them, and doesn't mean as we get them done, they don't move up. Just so you know, now that is our external goal. But we also have some internal that I quote just because, number 1, they are important, and these are things that should be happening whether we're doing that or not. And I think that's real important. The first one is customer service. We need to be nice. And I will tell you a funny story. When I came here, I wanted, how many of you have seen that, what is this, Roadhouse with Patrick the bouncer? Millie does that presentation on being nice, but what I do is be nice. When he does be nice. And I told the HR director, I want to show this. I want to show this clip in a meeting about being nice. And she watched it and was swearing, so we couldn't show it. But we did try. We did try. The second one internal is PIO, but it also goes with marketing. I mean, so we're not getting away from it. But that's something important to the council, so that's something we'll look at during this budget process. Number 3 was community, working together. And going out to the community, doing things like this. I think this is so important because, we work for you through the council. And that's how it is. Number 4 on that would be committee reorganization. Looking at the committees that we've got, looking at what they do. Some of them have been in place for 20 years and they've got the same marching orders. Well, if the demographics and the environment have changed in the last 20 years, the marching orders have changed. So, and we are actually looking at some of that with some of our committees right now. So, I mean, I think that was a very good call. And the last one on that would be the peer financial activity. And that's important. You all should know what we're spending and how it's working there before we go in there. And I'll just throw something out, an Attaway out, or an Attaway City, and David actually has asked about that. And we've got a process kind of in place. It's just not really user friendly yet, but we will make it user friendly so we get it out. And so those are our internal and external goals. We have a, can you please reread the vision for me? I will do this.
It's over
The
there.
town of Southside Beach is the #1 family destination in South Carolina.
Thank you. Y'all did a great job. The only other thing is, would you like to say something about finish it up and that?
Well, I think that this is a good start. And I think that us getting together and talking about this helps us to try to work for our future and what we're doing. And we have a lot of work to do. And I appreciate the work that you put into this. I look forward to working with you and trying to get this done.
We'll make it happen, I promise. But I appreciate all y'all coming. I mean, we cannot do without our. And I was with you almost 6 months ago, almost up to date delay. That's one thing that attracts me. There was council over and over says, we want to work with our citizens. We want them to know what's going on. We want them to understand what's going on. And we want them to approve. So, like I said before, you all want the same thing. We're just figuring out the best way to get there. Thank you so much. This coffee and please take them a lot. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. I need a motion to
I'll make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Adjourned.
All those in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is over.